Alright, good morning. Welcome back to the Homeschool Shopping channel. I just got out of the shower and I have to head out. It is swim day, but I wanted to show you two products. The first product is on the screen, and we use it to make freezies, because every time if they're outside for 20 minutes on the trampoline, or if we go for a long scooter walk, or we go to the beach after you've taken a shower, then you get a popsicle. And the popsicles I buy are like the sugar-free kind, so it was just getting kind of pricey, so I bought these for $9. You get 150 of them. They're disposable, but you can rewash them if you want. And we made our own, so we'll see how that goes. And if you want to make your own, some secrets to make them taste good are you can put dates in them, you can put a bit of apple juice, or you can put grapes. They like black grapes or red grapes, make them delicious. Okay, you want to tell them the recipe? Here, tell them the recipe.
I forgot.
You forgot? Okay, we don't need to tell them. Okay, so the second product of the day I have to show you is my first book about engineering. Take a look at this. It's just one of the books we read. So it just says, welcome to engineering. But what's kind of cool is, so for example, it talks about robots. It also talks about, so if you're designing a robot cat, like the steps you would take. Okay, so you can also color in this book if you want, but it's just very interesting because it explains about the research, stuff like that. So we got drones, we got different types of robots, so it's all about solving problems. So there's a lot of robots in the engineering thing that we got here. So, and I believe I got this on Amazon, so I want to say for $9. I really don't know the price. It can't be that much, or I wouldn't have gotten it. All right, Dan Biller, so it covers a lot of different things. Okay. 4 things you need to consider for your school year. 4 decisions you need to make. Number 1 would be screen time, how much screen time you do. As summer, we were getting overloaded with screen time. I took it all away for a few days and then slowly allowed in only 2 things, which previously they deemed completely boring and we're not interested in: PBS Kids games and PBS, and Bloxels. They could play where you build your own little world. They can't play other people's games, but they can play each other's games. So those are the only things I allowed back in, which again, they were bored of them before. And now they find them exciting, right? Because now there's not a lot of competition. And now, because of that, it's without fail. So it used to be that you did all your checklists and then you could watch screen time, and they were just rushing through their checklist. And so I was like, no screen time until 1 o'clock. And then there's still things that have to be done before it, but without fail, not till 1 o'clock. And then only for a few hours can you play or watch it. And that's because I need a break too. And that's usually when I edit my videos and relax and plan for the next day. Okay, so step 2 is what you need. You need a schedule. You need a schedule. If you can start it easy, base it around breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then put in when you're gonna homeschool. And that can be your schedule. Like, that's it. That's simple enough. You don't need something complicated, and it can change as the day goes on. We used to have kind of a complicated one, but we kind of know what it is now. So it's a little bit, so before dinner, there's dad time, and dad will play with them for a bit before dinner while I'm making dinner. So there's these different things, but in order to have dad, like in order to get TV time too, you have to, there's an inspection for your room. And so it's got to be clean. So I would go through it with them a bunch of times and be like, okay, let's pick up this, let's pick up this. And now it's to the point where I just say, okay, is your room ready for inspection time? And they run in and are like, no, not yet. And then I go in. The third is, to me, this is one of the most important things, which is outfits for 5 days. I have 5 pairs of jogging pants that I got at Walmart. 5 pairs of jogging pants, I got them at Walmart, and I like long sleeve shirts. And that is what I use. And I make sure I have 5 for the week so that I can easily get up, know what I'm wearing. Now, some people, of course, you can dress nicer than that. Yeah, go for it. Good for you. The stage I'm at in my life, that's it. That's what I'm wearing, because we start early. We start very early, so I need to I want to be up and dressed. The next is, and is it the last one? The last one is, I guess I can do 5, but is the theme. What is your theme this year for your homeschool? So like last year, I wanted to play more games together. So I have a bunch of smart brain games, which I show you in all the videos. And I wanted to do more smart brain games together. So that was like the overarching theme. I got this from Waldock Way. She said she has a theme for her homeschool every year. And so I was like, well, that's a great idea. This year it's reading the Bible. So I found, honestly, God brought it to me from my father. I bought every kid's Bible known to man, and they were okay. And then my dad sent me this one, and it is amazing. And I showed you in the last video. I'll attach it at the end. It was just a product of the day. And oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's what we're reading right now. Just so we have, that's just the overarching theme. So it's just so that you kind of remember it. Kind of remember. That's what you want to incorporate more into your life. So that's what you're focusing on. And like I said, last year was games, and we still play a lot of games. So I don't have to do it again this year. It doesn't have to be a focus, but just something to keep in mind. And the last thing is, oh, I have books. Okay, so I actually have 6. I don't know what my list is, why I started with 4, and it says 4 on here, but now I have 6. Probably when I was writing the list, I came up with a couple more. So 5 is the books to start with. I don't think, in my opinion, you do not need to have your list of read-alouds for the year, but just your list of books that you want to start with. So like the curriculum that you want to start with for the first semester, the first few months, the first 6 weeks, whatever. The grammar book, the vocab book, whatever it is you're doing. If you have language arts together, if you separate them, the math and the read alouds that you just want to start with. So you don't have to have like every book for the entire year, because you might change. Like you might go through, I made that mistake before, especially with Sunlight. I bought like 6 years of science Sunlight or something. And one week in, I was like, oh no, like this isn't for me. So now it's just, okay, this is what I'm going to start with. And when I go through, because I'm covering a bunch of different sciences this year, and when I go through it, then I get the next one. So I don't have to have it all bought and purchased now. And the last is your record. So every book that we go through, like say, for example, my first book of engineering, when we go through it, I'll write that down. I don't write every like picture book down or anything, but I have a book log where I write it down, which child did it and the date and any notes accompanying it. So which subject it was. And it's very simple. It's not very complicated, and I plan to show you all my records and everything at some point. But again, it's very simple. I also can do, like I'll look up in previous years, what I've done for a transcript is look up at the end of the year or halfway through the year, okay, what skills are they supposed to learn in grade 1? And then I'll go through and write notes in the margin, like, okay, they have this skill or satisfactory, unsatisfactory throughout of it, just a simple grade for each year. But I haven't done that in the last couple of years now. I did it at first, but now I haven't done it in the last couple of years. And now this is what I'm doing this year. It's just writing down again. So if we cover like a Becca science or generation science or whatever, when we finish the book, I will write it down. Okay, I completed a Becca, da 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 da. And so I'll have a huge record at the end of the year. So it's very simple. I keep it very simple because we do homeschool almost 7 days a week. Because again, we're very simple, and I want to show a video of how they learned so much in such a short a period of time. And one of the ways that I don't do busy work, it's gone. It is out of there. And because they're young, they're not handwriting everything, because handwriting would take us forever to get through anything. So handwriting is a separate subject. So those are some of the ways. But then I also take the main points, but then how do they remember it if they're not doing all these activities and they're not doing all this busy work? Well, I take the main points from the lesson, and if there is, because not every lesson has main things that you need to remember. Like when you're studying the senses, there's not a lot of information there that I feel like they're going to need to know at the end of the year or next year or something that they're going to have to recall back. But if we're studying maybe plant life, well, then I'll take the basics of the plant life and I'll put it into a note in Canva, very simple, print it off, and it's in a binder. And all through the year, once a week, we go through the binder, or twice a week, doesn't matter, read through the binder and read through those notes. And we do it all year so that just so it's kind of in their head, right? And you can keep them until next year. And then it's kind of a good review, because then you could put them in your book, your main book too, and go back, next year, have like 1 month where you're like, okay guys, let's sit down. Do you guys remember this? You guys remember this? And just flip through it and remember. And I quiz them on it too, just for fun. Like they'll stand at one side of the room and I'll be like, okay, what are the 2 things fish that classify something as a fish? It's gills. Actually, I forget the other thing. Gills and something else. A backbone. Gills and a backbone make it a fish. Okay, so true or false, is a shark a fish? Yes, it is. So stuff like that. So anyway, it's kind of fun, and that's how we learn a lot of stuff. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Can you say please like and subscribe?
Please like you like.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit bell, you know, notification.